Hi, I'm Christine with Kimbap TV, and this week we are going back to Washington, D.C. I'll introduce you to my friend Janet Rodriguez, who is a White House correspondent for Univision. She hopes her story can help encourage younger journalists to become more mindful of certain life lessons that she's had to learn firsthand.
In Washington, Janet Rodriguez, Univision.
We're inside of a car because it's cold outside in D.C.
This is a completely different scene from Phoenix, Arizona, where we first met almost a decade ago.
Oh, we were young and excited about our profession. And I was on my second market. I think you were on your second market as well. So we were ready to conquer the world of journalism.
I remember watching Janet win Emmy after Emmy. I knew then that she had bigger plans than staying at the Grand Canyon State forever.
I was an aspiring journalist that wanted to go really far places and was ready to work so hard. Whatever came my way, I was ready to pursue it.
Janet recalls observing an interesting fact while interning during her college years that she thought prepared her for her own path.
I had the opportunity to meet women that pursued their careers and neglected their personal lives. And by the time I had met them, they were very well off, had amazing careers, yet had no family. And I made a point to myself that I did not want to be that person. If I wanted to be a network correspondent by age 30, I also wanted to get married and have kids. I wanted to do it all.
Janet did get married while we were both in Phoenix, and soon afterwards, her career really started to take off.
I made network correspondent at 27, and at the time I'd been married for about a year and a half. And I decided that I wanted to be a network correspondent more than I wanted to be a wife. My husband at the time was okay with me moving away. I had to have a long distance relationship, a long distance marriage, and he was very supportive, and we as a couple decided that it was the right thing for me to pursue. And I went to Chicago. I moved like 3,000 miles away from my husband to pursue my network career, and I had a great run in Chicago, but obviously my relationship suffered quite a bit, and I got divorced 4 years into that pursuit of happiness, long distance happiness.
I asked if she would have changed anything given the circumstances.
I would have not gotten married, actually. Looking back, I love my husband if he ever watches this. I loved him, but it was naive of me to think at the time, obviously hindsight being 2020 now, that I could have done the two things. So at that time, I think I would have pursued my career because it was the right thing to do, and it was where my passion was at the time. I would have let my personal life take a back seat and pursued it at a later time in life.
Despite the setbacks in her personal life, Janet has grown into her role as a network correspondent, now covering the White House for Univision.
It's a lot of hours of hard work. You only see a minute and a half, 2 minutes at most. But a whole day's work goes into it. A lot of our mental and emotional capacities for the day, however amount we're allotted for that day, goes all into our work. Because if there's something that we have as journalists is that we're very passionate about what we do, and we put everything into our stories.
She acknowledges that her priorities have still very much been centered around her career.
Work always comes first and will always come first, and that's just a journalist thing. It's, and social lives go belly up sometimes, having to reschedule dinners and movies. We live a very selfish life when it comes to our work, and we've chosen to live that life. And as long as we're okay with that and the people around it understand that, then so be it. Amor.
But in recent years, Janet says she's found a work-life harmony and feels content with where she's at.
I'm still a network correspondent. I have a great job. I got divorced. I started a new life with a great partner who's very supportive as well. But happiness is not money, is not fame, is not being well recognized for what I do. Happiness is a good place. It's when I go home and I can sleep at night because I am at ease with the decisions that I've made.
She advises those following in her footsteps to learn from her experience.
Things can be compartmentalized in life, and things can be pursued at different times of your life, and it will be okay. Everything will and can happen as long as you set your mind to it. But it's okay if not everything happens at the same time.
And from here, she's open to whatever comes her way.
We work in a career where jobs come and go, and you have to be okay with that. Do I wish to keep my job and continue doing what I'm doing for the rest of time? So absolutely. I love my job. I love what I do, and I will love to be able to continue doing it. But if that's not the case, if life has another surprise in store for me, then I will be okay.
Janet and I have supported each other during life's ups and downs, and she was one of the first convinced friends to jump on board when I said I wanted to keep creating stories after leaving local news.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I mean, many of us are by choice. By choice, we're tied to our corporate world, and that comes with its plus and minuses. I think you can do something that a lot of us wish we would be doing, but can't necessarily.
She hopes videos like this can help guide others who are navigating through their careers.
We all want to reach the sky and the moon and the stars and aim super, super duper high, and it's okay. But I think we also have to keep in mind that if we don't achieve it, it's okay too. Achieve what you're comfortable with and what you can take without losing yourself.
In Washington, D.C., Christine Lee, Kimbap TV.